This video is meant for all spirited sea witches out there, feeling the powerful pull of the tides on chilly full moon nights at the shore, enjoying the fresh breeze of the west winds bringing in energies of change, and embracing the cleansing sprays of foaming whitecaps to wash away what is holding them back. And for the witches that hear the ancient call of the waves when stepping on millennia-old chalk and empty shells in warm sand, come follow me on Sea Witch Adventures. Hi lovelies, and welcome to another day in the life of a witch vlog. As you can see, I escaped the hellish hot weather of Cordoba and made it to the seaside. So today we're talking all about a sea witchcraft and how to be a sea witch. I'll take you along on walks on the beach and we're gonna see what we can find and how we can incorporate it into our witchcraft practice. I'm going to share a little DIY cottage witch trinket with you for cleansing and relaxation. Of course, we're also going to have a ton of fun in the sun. And last but not least, I want to do a full moon ritual with you. So let's get going and see what we can find here to witch with. In the morning and I'm already sweaty, gross and sandy. The humidity does absolutely nothing for my hair. Personally, I'm not really familiar with the sea. I live very far from a beach and I'm more a mountain girl. However, that doesn't stop me from witching where I planted. And if I'm here on the beach, you can be sure that I find some ways to incorporate the natural environment into my craft as well. Hola, buenas. I gathered a couple of things. I'm completely unfamiliar with their common use in witchcraft. Correspondences are just observations that people made for themselves. There's no universal law that says this is the only way a certain object works. For example, take a shell. Where are my shells? Where are my shells? Take this shell for example. First of all, we could take a look at its actual functions. They're to protect what it's inside. So maybe shells are a great addition to any kind of protection charm. Then you might also notice from depictions in art, think of the Venus standing in that little shell and she's just like emerging out of the water in all her beauty. It might also symbolize femininity, fertility, beauty or youthful youth. The Jacob's shell, Jacob's clam, Jakobsmuschel. It's traditionally linked to pilgrimage, so you might link it to finding your inner self, to journeying, next to all the trash you can find on the beach. By the way, for any green witch, just if you go on the beach, if you're foraging for your little witchcraft supplies, maybe also go and take a trash bag with you and just take a bag full of trash. It's a great little offering to Mother Nature. You can also find sea sponges. What a sponge does, it's essentially like soak stuff up, or you could use it to draw stuff to you, but also to maybe remove negative energy into that sea sponge. There's the feathers from seabirds that might symbolize freedom or fastness, or maybe you also just associate them with the annoying flying fucks that try to steal your ice cream when you were a child and then bit you in the finger. Bit birds, but it might also just be me. So. And of course all the plants and the moss holding on to that stone that like symbolizes maybe perseverance, sticking to something, taking something over, almost in a parasitic kind of way. You can find sea glass, stones of all kinds of colors and shades that you might want to use in your witchcraft practice. Hagstones, a traditional protection item. Wait, how are the wasps here? Slightly better. Sea salt and salt in witchcraft is often used for cleansing purposes. Taking a little mindful dip in the sea could be a cleansing ritual in itself. It's also commonly used for protection, so why not draw a little sigil or something that is important to you that you want to protect in the sand and let the seawater wash over it. The first thing I love to do when I get to the beach is to dig my little toesies into the sand. Feel one with the ocean, with the beach. Might just be childhood memories, but for me it's also a very calming experience. Of course, that might also be attributed to the mojito that I usually hold in my hand while I do so. But we shall not speak of that. I hope that gave you some ideas on how to incorporate the beach and the sea in your sea witchcraft practice, or how to work with unfamiliar objects, finding that magical benefit in your personal practice. Let's get home and do some cottage witchery, and while we do so, we want to soak up that beach energy. What I really love to do is to take certain energies of places and bring them into my witchcraft practice, convert them into something useful for my own craft and for my own life. And one of my favorite ways to do so is by foraging local ingredients that capture the essence of that place, either in its smell, in its look, in its correspondence, or in its sound. And in this cottage witch spell today, I want to focus on the sound. I have been sleeping with the windows wide open. I find the sound of the waves on the shore super calming and relaxing. And that's why today we're making a shell wind chime. Now in reality, this turned out to be a misery in 3 acts, but more on it later. Now all that we need is a bunch of shells, sticks or bits of driftwood, and a string. Now I'm not at home, so I didn't have any of my crafting tools, which turned out to be more challenging than I had anticipated. Now first I wanted to poke some holes into the shells to string them up. Turns out they're actually quite hard. Surprise! I mean, I really tried everything here to penetrate them. Screwdrivers, knives, needles, pin tags, scissors. Nada. Absolutely nada. I mean, probably it would work if you would have a lot of patience, but we both know that that is not the case with me. So what did I do? I gave up and sent my partner out to get some sticky tape and nylon string. Being a man, he went to the tool shop instead of the arts and crafts place and came back with fishing rod string and a huge roll of one of the most useless, stupid, sticky rolls of tape I have ever seen. But thanks, honey, for doing that though. It was really kind. I love you. Now, in good spirits and slight desperation, I tried to glue that fishing rod string onto the shells. Didn't work at all. So I found a piece of ugly white string, which I decided to quickly dye in some coffee ground bog water because aesthetics and stuff, and proceeded to glue that on instead. When you collect your shells, you'll obviously see they have different kind of shapes and different kind of colors, so you can also adjust them to your specific kind of spell. You can work with color correspondences here. You can work with certain correspondences of the different types of shells. You can also tie in sea stars, sea sponge, whatever you can find along the beach. Now, after you've made a couple of strings with shells on, you obviously want to string them up somewhere. And I had in mind to find a little bit of driftwood and then arrange it in a meaningful way, maybe in a pentagram shape, in the symbol sign of water. But I didn't find any sticks, and obviously at the point I was just over it, so I did a knot spell instead, trying the strings together with intent for holding calm and peace, which in that moment I really did need. Personally, I'm crafting this with intent for the cleansing element of the seawater and the calming and relaxing sound of the ocean. As I don't often burn stuff for cleansing due to health concerns, I do enjoy sound cleansing quite a bit, just to set the mood for a spell or a ritual, or just to bring that certain energy also in my own home. But you can also think of other functions shells could have in that spell that we talked about before. Just focus your intent on that specific goal or outcome while working on your cottage witch spell. If you live far from an ocean but you very much enjoy that sea witch magic, you can of course also craft this seashell wind chime in order to call in those ocean or beach energies. Now, my lovely witches, as much as I love to take you on all kinds of witchy adventures, I also need a little bit of holiday. So we're going to have some fun in the sun. We're going to have really good food, really good drinks, some sex on the beach. Also, I swear I'm not naked. I'm actually wearing a bikini. It's just very low cut.
Bueno, sí. Camina. Rico, rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Melodía, melodía. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ay, escucha mi salsa ahora. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Para gozar, qué rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. La salsa buena es la verdad. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Bueno, mira, escucha ahora. Ja, si escucha mi salsa ahora. Mi salsa
I don't know what it is about seaside holidays that just wants me make to channel my inner Captain Jack Sparrow. All day, every day.
to the Black Pearl.
Oh, this vlog will possibly be a couple of days late. And today is the night of the full moon and I was really set on doing a ritual, but to be honest, too much rum has had. Too much rum has had. Too much rum was had.
But why is the rum gone?
What is the full moon really? It's not like an event that goes over hours and hours. Like the full moon is just that one point where the moon appears completely illuminated. In some ways it still has those waxing energies in it, those manifesting, bringing new stuff into your life, growing stuff kind of energies, as well as the waning energies of letting stuff go and releasing things. So you can use it in multiple ways in your full moon ritual. You can use it to celebrate the abundance, the fullness of the things you have. You can use it as a moment for introspection or as a moment to take some self-care. Tomorrow we have the full moon with waning energies. I'm just gonna throw something magical together then. So my pirates, I shall see you tomorrow. Now, if you ever wondered how to do a sea witch themed full moon ritual, here is what I did. I had my windows open, sound cleansing the space with the sound of the waves, and then I did set up a little sea witch altar. My altars are usually more decorative, but everything I put on there also has a specific meaning. I put down an open up shell to symbolize the overcoming of hardness, of hardship that you first have to kind of crack before you can reap the rewards. And I sprinkled a little bit of sand around that just as a reminder of the grounding energies that always come in handy. If you want to achieve things, you have to have a basis somewhere. Usually I just would light incense, but I don't have any here. So I did use a cinnamon stick, and integrating certain scents into my rituals or in the beginning of my ritual also helps me to arrive more present in the moment and then getting ready for the mindset of a little oracle card spread. I'm gonna do a 3-card pull for this and work with the different energies that the full moon brings. The first card is to reflect on growth potential, and here I pulled mood or to dare, which for me just was a message to sometimes take more risks and be a little bit more daring when it comes to growing opportunities, business opportunities. The second card is to reflect on abundance of the moment, the fullness of the moment, and it gave me a great little opportunity to be grateful for allowing myself and my family a little break from work. And the third card was for things to let go of. And I just did interpret this as something that sometimes I can be a little bit hedonistic. I might have to look into some habits that I have to let go. And in order to do so, I love natural banishment spells and rituals, and very often I use stones, which you might have seen in other vlogs. And here I collected a couple of sea stones where I will now put those things that I want to let go of in, and then later on I will throw them in the sea and let the sea take care of that. I feel it's just a very freeing little ritual to do. I can totally recommend it. I hope that served you in some way. Thank you for following along, and if you stick around, you can enjoy some outtakes. What is this devil's work? Fucking sticky bitch. Aha! Just like, no. Just no! Sticky muffin. Mother Concha.
Lulu, schau mal. Hi, Bibi. Lulu, wo ist die Mami? Wo ist die Mami? Where's your mother? Schau. Schau. Where's your mother? Oh no. It's not cooperative.